Okay, hey everybody, welcome to the second week of our mentorship call. I appreciate you all being here, and hopefully you're participating in the trainings that we had last week and the trainings that have started this week already. I want to go through everybody and have them answer a couple questions just to kind of see where you are at and what you might need help with. So the first thing I'm going to ask everybody is what personal development book you're reading right now, and what is one takeaway you've had recently. And if you're not reading a personal development book, tell me so I can help suggest one for you, because I think reading a personal development book is very, very important. I will say for me personally, it's usually the one vital behavior that I want to skip, but it's the one vital behavior that I need the most. And I'm sure you saw that covered in the training last week that Kendallin did. But in this business, we have to constantly be working on ourselves, and there's opportunity to have a lot of rejection, and things happen in this business that if we're not working and feeding our soul with personal development books, and it can be, I mean, there's so many different types of personal development out there, but if you're not feeding your soul in a way that you need it, this business can kind of drag you down at times. At times it's really great and it can be easy, but then there could be times where you might have a customer that return something on you. You might get somebody tell you no, you could lose a friend. I've had people unfriend me on Facebook over dumb stuff with coaching, or there's a lot of crazy stuff that can happen, but doing personal development really can help keep your heart filled while going through this. So I'm going to just go through, I'm going to call you guys out as I see you on my screen. Tell me what personal development book that you're reading, and what is one takeaway that you've had recently. Kelly, I'm going to go with you first. You're always at the top of my screen.
All right. I am reading a book that Carl Deichler recommended, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And I wasn't really sure what to think of the title, but I actually love the book. I've been taking some notes. I feel like not only is it helpful for this business, but just for life, and even kind of for my students too. But one of his main points in the book is to always think in terms of other people's point of view and to see things from the other angle. I'm not always really good at that, and I become kind of like defensive, I guess, and my husband is the opposite. He's definitely a thinker, so it was good for me to hear that. And then it says, so I wrote 6 quick tips to use it to be welcome anywhere. Would be number 1, be genuinely interested in other people's lives. Smile a lot. Remember that a person's name is the sweetest sound that they could hear, which is really crazy to me. So it's really important to use people's first names a lot when you're talking to them. To be a good listener. And when you're talking to people, encourage them to talk about themselves, because people like to talk about themselves, and so they're more receptive to you when you allow them to talk about themselves. To talk in terms of the other person's interests, and to make the other person feel important, and to be sincere when you're doing that.
Yeah, that's a really great book. I have read that book before, and I think my biggest takeaway from that book is it's always better to be interested than interesting. And it's hard because our natural nature is to want to be interesting. We want to talk about ourselves, and we want to me. But especially in this business, we're in the business of helping others, and it's really about how can we help? How can we add value? How can we show that we're interested in other people instead of trying to be interesting ourselves? That's great. Glad you're reading that book. Okay, Casey, I know you're a new coach. I don't even know if you're reading any personal development. Are you right now?
Well, I'm trying to get through all the training videos. I'm trying to catch up. So that's my personal development. And then going through the Beachbody website, also they have a little training on there. So I'm trying to get through all that. And then I actually just started it's a Bible study group. It's like one of the first at my church, like for moms. So I'm reading a book, and for the life of me, I can't remember what it's called right now, but it's really good. It's just talking about how to be grounded, what's important with all the busy schedules, just to show gratitude and just to, appreciate everything that we're blessed with. So that's one of the things that I'm reading for just my own spiritual, personal.
I think that's great. That's something that I like to try and do as well. And I think a lot of times we see personal development, that we need to do personal development. People think, oh, I'm not a reader, I don't want to read. But I think if you're doing anything that's going to be challenging your brain to learn something or to feed your soul in some way, so you could be listening to a podcast, you could be reading a book, doing a Bible study, anything that's helping you grow more as a person and be better is what falls under the personal development category. Okay, Susan, you're next. Can you unmute yourself? Let me see if I can unmute.
There you go. I have this book. It is faith-based. It's called I Used to Be So Organized. And it's about help for reclaiming order and peace in your life. Now, I work full-time. I'm doing 4 college courses and trying to keep up with it. So I figured I could use a little order in my life and some peace. I like the idea that it will help me reorganize the space I want to work in and to set limits of how long I'm going to be in one spot. That way I don't use up all my time doing the wrong things. So that's where I'm starting at.
I think that's perfect, especially as you're juggling so many things at one time. I think that's great. Another point I would like to make about personal development is read something that, or listen to something that you need to work on. So what I might be needing to work on, whether it be leadership or something else, might be completely different than what you might need, because we're all struggling or successful at different things. So just because, there's, of course, I can recommend different books, or different podcasts, but I would like to know where you are at. So I don't want to just say that blanket everybody needs to read this book, because it's so different for so many people depending on where they are and what they need in their life. Okay, Jennifer, I'm going to call you out. Are you reading or doing anything for personal development right now?
Does it work?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay.
Wait,
it was a book that.
Okay, go ahead. You're cutting in and out for me.
Oh, okay. I'm reading the book Drive. I'm actually rereading the book Drive by Daniel Pink. And it's all a book about what motivates people. And so what I found that, everyone has different motivations for everything. And, and as a teacher, I definitely see that constantly through classes, because every kid has something that motivates them and it's never the same thing. And so what I really kind of started reflecting about just people in general, like why we work out, why we start businesses, why we set goals for ourselves and our families. And I'm just trying to really kind of go through all of those things for myself, and then figure out what those next steps are, I think.
Awesome. That sounds like a great book. I haven't heard of that book before.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's kind of written more business oriented, I think. So then, which would really fit, but there were some chapters in there, especially for teachers, that would, motivating kids, putting that stick and carrot out in front of people and seeing if they're going to grab onto it and, push forward, or they got to just let it dangle there and leave you hanging. So, it's a lot of different parallel connections that you can make with starting a business and, and other things as well. So.
Cool. I'm glad you're reading something. That's great. Next, Amy.
Hi. Okay. Yeah, hi.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have 2 Amy's. I'm sorry. Okay, I was looking at Amy Burt because you're next on my screen. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Okay. I'm not reading anything right now. I'm getting some good ideas on books to read, especially being a teacher and needing, always looking for different things to read about and see different things. I've been trying to keep up with the websites and the different trainings, like Casey going through the Beachbody website. My biggest thing right now is just trying to get my work life and Beachbody life and home life and coordinating all that and getting it all.
Well, I'm thankful you're here. I read over the stuff from that form that I did, and you definitely have a completely full schedule, and I admire that you're here and you're taking on so much. I know how overwhelming it can be, especially when you first get started as a coach, to be like, gosh, what did I get myself into? But you're really doing good and you're plugging along, and I'm really proud of you.
Well, thank you. I'm trying.
No, you're doing great. You're doing really good. Okay, Christine.
I am reading the same book that Kelly is. How to Win Friends and Influence People, and she summarized it really well for where I'm at. I listen to it instead of read it. It's easier for me as I'm driving because I do a lot of driving with the kids. But it has made me look at people differently, and all these things that he talks about, I can see so clearly in everybody. It's a really, really good book.
It's a really good book, and I think it was written a long time ago. Like, it's been around for a while, and it's still everything. I think there's a new one. Like, I think it's How to Win Friends and Influence People in the Digital World. Like, it's a newer version, but I haven't read that one. I've only read the original one.
I haven't either. It's interesting because he makes a lot of references to presidents and just people that are no longer even alive. It's definitely old, but it's amazing how relevant it is.
It is, very much so. Okay, Danny, your turn. Oh, where did she go? Did we lose her?
Well, I had to switch over.
Oh, there she is. Okay.
Sorry, I'm on my phone, so can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I have not had a lot of time to read anything. I run an upholstery business, and I'm currently booked up a year out in my business. So,
that's amazing.
So I am listening to training videos and YouTube videos, especially by Caleb Thomas, while I sew. So
he's hilarious. He's one of my favorites, and his videos are really short, but they're so funny and so spot on.
He seems to cut right through it for me and get right to the point, which is exactly what I need. But at my husband's suggestion, I did go downstairs tonight and pick out How to Win Friends and Influence People also. So popular.
Seems to be the book of the group. I love it.
Right, book club.
Well, that's good. I think we can all, if we're all learning and reading the same thing, I think it just helps us all grow together. Okay, Amy Blaze. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I want to get everybody in because we have quite a few things to talk about.
Hi.
Hi.
I read one about a month ago. It's been a while. That was the one that was Successful Women Think Differently. It was a good book, but I am looking for another one. I'm thinking that I may read the same one that everyone is talking about. Sounds like it might be worth the time. So maybe I'll start to read that one.
Yeah, that's a good book, and you can usually pick it up pretty cheap, and you can sometimes find it at a used bookstore pretty cheap. I think that might have been where I got my copy because it's been a book that's been around for so long that there's a lot of copies in circulation. I know you can pick it up at the Goodwill or used bookstore, order it from Amazon. Okay, Ayana, I'm glad that you're awake. She works super early. She's on the East Coast, and she works really early at Starbucks. I'm glad that you're here.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, I am reading The Compound Effect, so I am going against the grain here.
No, I think that was one of the first personal development books that I read, and it's a really, really good book because you can apply it to lots of areas of your life, in my opinion. Have you liked it so far?
I've only read one chapter because I just got it in the mail yesterday.
Okay.
But basically, I like that he's like, you got to work harder if you're not good at something to keep up with everybody else or to just do better. Like if that's not your thing, just work harder at it and you'll get success. So I'm trying to apply that to this because I'm not really good at it.
You're just starting.
But
you're doing just fine.
But I'm working harder at it.
Yeah, I think, and as you continue to read that book, I really like that it'll talk about the compound effect, how what you do today, the simple tasks that you do today, if you just continue to do them and continue to do them every day. So say it's, talking to people or doing something to grow your business, you continue to do that day after day, and slowly the curve will go up. If what you're doing today might not seem very important, but as it compounds over time, your success really will take off. And I found that to be true in my business over the last year because I feel like I'm not doing anything different today than what I was doing a year ago, but I just have had time to let it all grow. So my success has compounded. It's the not giving up, doing those small tasks that are just as easy to skip as they are to do. That's where I think the difference between success and failure can be sometimes, because the things to grow a business, sometimes while they aren't difficult, they're very easy to skip and put off and just not do them, like talking to people or, you know, that kind of stuff. Okay, now I'm going to have everybody quickly go through a success that you're having, something that you're struggling with, and if you have any questions. And we'll make this pretty quick because I do want to talk about signing up a spouse and challenge groups at the end of our training. So, and I know we'll get cut off at some point, so I might have to start the call over. But everybody say something that's going well, anything that you might be struggling with, and if you have any questions about any of the assignments or anything that pertains to coaching. So I'm going to go kind of in the same order. Start back up with Kelly since she's at the top of my screen. Hi, Kendallin. I know you're here. I didn't ask you a personal development book you're reading, but Kendallin's our bonus assignment, and I'm going to see if she has anything to add here in a little bit too.
Okay. Going well. I hit Success Club 36, so I feel like that's going good. I don't know. I'm still working on structuring my months, because I feel like I get all these people at the beginning of the month and then I put them in my challenge group, and then I kind of feel like I'm at a standstill for the last week and a half. And I'm not really sure. I know last time I talked about this about, trying to recruit coaches at the end of the month. But right now I'm just kind of still struggling with what am I going to do with my time? Not that I have a lot of free time, but as far as Beachbody goes, how am I going to be better about not just front loading all of my people at the beginning of every month, but really trying to spread it out. And Casey had texted me today about maybe doing a free clean eating group or crockpot group. And I think this last week of the month might be a good week for that. While we're not recruiting really. So that's a possibility, I think.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about at the end of this call was the challenges, a free challenge or something else. So I will say Success Club 36, you're just amazing. I don't even know if you realize how rare that is to be at that Success Club, because most people top coaches usually recruit, get that many points, but you're just doing amazing. So keep up the good work. Casey, success, struggle, any questions?
Success, I'm finding it really easy to talk about the program because I'm just talking to my friends about it and they're like, oh my gosh, where do I sign up? So they love it so far. And I guess challenge, just trying to figure out what is going on, what timing wise, when do the challenge groups happen? When should I run this? Am I doing it with Kelly? Just how to structure everything timeline-wise. So I think that's my biggest challenge right now.
Yeah, and that's something that as you progress through your coaching, you'll find a rhythm of what works well for you. And the beauty of it is you can design it how you want to do it. So and that's something that you and Kelly can discuss later. You guys can continue to pair up to do all your challenges going forward, or you guys could run them separately. You can do 2 challenges a month if you're hoping, if you are trying to get Success Club points at the beginning and at the end of the month. You could always do a challenge group at the beginning and the challenge group at the end. It might seem extra work, but it's really the same information, just kind of split the groups up. Maybe there's lots of possibilities, but the beauty is you get to design it how you want to. And I think at the beginning of coaching, it's just learning what works for you and just trying stuff. I tried a new challenge group this month that I've never run before. I'm doing something completely different. Will it work? I'm not sure, but I'm giving it a try, because what do I have to lose? If it doesn't work, it just doesn't work, and I'll try something different. So that's the beauty of how this works. You'll figure it out.
Okay.
Susan.
Yes, ma'am.
Success, struggles, any questions?
I have people that are interested, but not interested enough to spend money at this point. They're asking a lot of questions. They're amazed by the progress that they can tell that I've made, but they're just not ready to take a jump like that.
Does it sound familiar?
Yeah, that's why I understand it so well.
That's good that you can empathize, because I know you were like that as well. My advice to you would be to just continue to share. I think you're doing a really good job sharing your personal results and talking about it. Did you create a like page, or was that somebody else? I can't remember. You did. So just continuing to share that kind of stuff. And we'll talk about content for like pages probably next week. But just continue to share your story and share from your heart. I think people will see where you're coming from, and they'll eventually say, okay, I really want to try it. She's not going anywhere. I'm willing to try it now.
Yeah, you ought to know.
I know she was very hesitant. I just said, just trust me, please trust me. But it took you a couple months, and I'm glad that you're here.
It did. Thank you.
Okay, Jennifer, success, struggles, anything, any questions?
Well, I really am just trying to juggle everything just in life. With school starting back up, one of my kids just started school, so now I'm like the helicopter mom. I'm finding it's really not what I want to be. But I spend time every night reading through all the posts, all the different documents that you guys post up and share in the files, and I'm just trying to catch up and just be aware of everything that's going on. But I've really kind of been laying low, not really making any moves as far as what I want to do yet, because I'm not quite sure with my schedule and my husband's work schedule through about February. It's a little crazy, and so I'm just trying to see and absorb a lot of information. And so, I wouldn't necessarily call it a success or a struggle. It's just kind of I'm in a hovering mode right now. So I'm just trying to learn as much as I can, because I definitely feel that it's something that I would like to pursue and want to get into. I just think my timing of jumping in was a little preemptive, I guess. I should have thought about it a little bit more, maybe, worked out for a couple more months a little bit more, and really, be that product of what we're trying to show people that that they could do for themselves. And so that's where I'm at, I think.
Okay, that's fine. And I'll have Kelly share a little bit about my story. I don't want to take up much time, or I can tell you about it later. But I was a coach for like 20 months before I even started doing it. I was kind of hesitant. I was kind of like you. I was in and out. I wasn't sure where I was. I was an Emerald coach because Kendallin was on my team, and I had a discount coach. But I was all over the place, and it just took me getting through all of what was in my head to really decide to commit to make this business work. And that's when the things changed for me. So I don't want you, because where you are today might be different than where other people might be, or where you might want to be eventually. Don't feel the pressure that you have to be somebody else or be pressured to be wherever you are. Just know that we are with you where you're at. I always tell my coaches, and I'm sure Kelly's will do the same thing. Hey, this business goes at your pace. And if it ever gets to be too much, let somebody know. Because really, I always say, you run, I run, you walk, I walk. So I don't ever want to pull you somewhere you're not ready to go. And I'm sure Kelly will do the same thing. So don't feel that pressure if you're still trying to feel the waters. We can make this work where you are today, because your success is defined solely by you, not by me or Kelly or anybody else.
All right, thanks.
No worries. Okay, Amy, success, struggles, anything you have questions about?
There we go. Success, I set up a like page.
Yes, you did. I saw that. It looked amazing.
Thanks. And I already had like 90 plus likes. So I'm hoping to get it to 100, because I think that's when it gets to be public or something like that.
Oh, I can't
more
remember.
People see it. I don't know how it works.
But 90 likes in one day, amazing.
Yeah, I was kind of impressed with that. So like the personal support that I've gotten has been awesome from everybody. The struggle is talking about it and finding that balance of talking about it but not too much, or am I talking about it not enough, and I guess I just don't know what the balance is. So
okay,
that's where I'm at.
I'm gonna put that on our topic, if we can get to it tonight, if not tomorrow, or maybe I can make a short video for it in the mentorship group, because I think that's definitely a concern. Because as we become new coaches, it can be really easy to want to tell everybody everything all the time, and we don't want to be that person that's necessarily vomiting Beachbody on people, but we want to be sharing enough that people know what we're doing. So there is a balance there in finding what works. So I wrote that down so we can make sure to talk about that. Okay, Christine.
Success. My clean eating group's going really well. I have a lot of people interacting. I mean, not everyone in the group. There's a lot that are watching, but I think there's enough interacting that's going really well. Struggles is my transitioning from the free challenge to an actual challenge. I have a plan to kind of talk about who I am and what my challenges will be like should someone join, and I'm trying to write that up. That's probably my biggest challenge.
Okay, hey, when you write that up, would you feel comfortable either messaging it to me or posting it in that team page so we can all give you some feedback and see what we suggest or tell you what we think?
Okay.
Because I know
that would be great.
I know that's a struggle that not just you are having, so I think that's something that we could all work together to make sure you're having success, because that is hard, because you're going from a free challenge where anybody will sign up for a free challenge and then switching it over to a paid challenge. It is kind of awkward to get those people to commit.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Amy Blaze, Amy B.
Success stuff. So my like page is going very well, actually. That's doing extremely well, actually. Just kind of blew me out of the water how fast that it kind of took off. And there's actually some communication on it, so that's really good. Started a challenge group with some people on Monday, and the problem there seems to be they don't want to participate. They just want me to do all the posting, so getting them to share and to do some of that stuff, interact, is a problem, it seems. Also, it seems like Herbalife has taken over this entire state or everywhere, everyone I know. So that's a problem that I'm trying to just kind of wait them out. And the other thing that I have a little bit of difficulty with is the days that I work. I work very long hours on the days that I work because I work on an alternate work schedule. So I'll work 12 to 16 hours for 3 days in a row, and then I'll have 3 days off. So on those days that I work, it's hard to keep everything going.
Okay, I definitely have some suggestions for that. Like, are you talking about like talking to people or keeping challenge groups going, or what specifically?
Specifically getting my posts in.
Like, okay, I will message you because I have a solution for you. There is a way you can schedule your posts in advance.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay, Ayana, strengths or successes, struggles, any questions?
I haven't had really any success because I haven't done anything. Really. I had like a clean eating challenge that didn't really go too well. Like I had a couple people participate, but I was going to try a new challenge since it's getting cold, like a crock pot one, and see how that goes. My struggle is I want to be a product of the product, but I don't have time. Like I have to be at work at 5 a.m. some days, and then I have 5 kids. So when I get off, it's like kids, and I don't like working out at night because then I'm up, and then it's like a vicious cycle. So anyways, I just need to schedule some time. Like I need to write down when I can do that, to be that, so that I can be more like what people, to show them rather than just talk about it. Because I think a lot of people are more receptive if you are like, look at me, as opposed to me saying that. I don't have any questions right now.
I do think that definitely you need to schedule in that time and make it non-negotiable for you, because I think it will help you cope with the crazy chaos of having 5 kids with you. Plus, I don't think that to be a coach that anybody needs to be at their perfect quote unquote beach body, but I think sharing what you're doing and showing that you're trying to change and you're doing something better for your life is exactly what people like to see. People like to see you sharing you. That's not necessarily the product that they care about, but sharing your story and sharing what you're doing motivates other people. So just keep that in mind. So don't think that you have to get to your goal. Just share.
No, I don't think I should get at my goal, but I don't have any progress. Like I'm at a plateau is really where I'm at.
Okay. Okay, Danny.
Success. I wasn't a people person at all before. I didn't really go out of my house even that much except to pick up my kids to and from school, and I kept my head down the whole time. So I started talking to moms at the school, and some of them have friended me, so I'm making progress there. At the grocery store, things like that. I've gotten involved in PTO, and I'm really stepping out.
That's all just since becoming a coach? Like you're feeling better about yourself since doing all this? That's all happened just recently?
Yes. The only thing I ever did outside of being in my home is I played in a bell choir, but I went there, I did what I was supposed to do, and I came home. So this is all new, and some of my customers are from my bell choir now, so I'm getting better.
That's so amazing. Your personal, like, inside transformation is just so inspiring to me.
And I will give you my story when I can get
okay,
that.
No worries. Take your time.
Struggles. There are so many things going on. There are so many different coaches talking to us and saying, okay, here's what you need to do today. Here's a call to action. Over here, we have a challenge group going, and I'm trying to keep up with my people there. There's so much stuff. It's like going to the restaurant and having 30 things to pick from, and I can't do that. I can't choose. I need 2 things, and then I'll pick.
Can I share with you, just a minute ago, I messaged one of my coaches, and I messaged my personal coach, my coach Amy. She's my personally sponsored coach. She's my upline coach. And I was like, hey, do you ever feel like you have so much to do that you're almost paralyzed and you don't want to do anything? Because that's how I've felt lately. Because there's so much to do. It's like, where do I get started? And then you're like, I just don't want to do anything because there's so much to do. So I definitely think that next week our topic, unless we try and do a call later in this week, is definitely going to maybe be time management and balance. Trying to figure out how to work all of this new stuff in. Because I know that there's a lot of stuff being thrown at you right now, and you guys are probably all like, whoa, where do I start? What do I do? How do I work this? So I think time management and balance is going to be our perfect topic for next week, because that seems to be where everybody needs the most help. I did want to talk about, and we're almost out of time on this call, so I don't know if I'll go into it unless people really want to, and what I can do is end the call and start a new one for people who want information. But I wanted to talk about signing up a spouse as a coach, if anybody was interested in learning about that and how it could benefit your business and have questions. I wanted to answer that. And the rest of the stuff I think I can wait, but I really wanted to talk about signing up a spouse for anybody who was interested in that information. So if anybody does want to learn about that, could you raise their hand so I can know if I need to start another call? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this call, and if you're not at that point where you want to sign up your spouse, and by no means, I'll record the call also, but I just want to get that information out to the people who have questions about it, and then I will also record that call and post it in our thread. Since I only have 2 minutes left, they give you a time limit on this Zoom. Oh, Kendallin, I'm sorry, I'm totally forgetting about it. Did you have anything else to add? I feel bad. She's just quietly watching our call.
No, I just been enjoying listening to everybody and hearing about everybody's progress, but I think you pretty much about covered it. So, I think everybody's doing great, and I've been enjoying listening to, all your guys' progress and stuff. So
Kendall and I will put our heads together for next week's call on time management and balance, because I think that's something that I need help with also. So I think we can try, her and I can brainstorm together for that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this call. I'm going to create a new call, and I'll post the link in the group. If you want to join the next call, feel free and join it, and I'll record it, okay? Okay.